Hi, I'm Jeremy Pollack. I'm a conflict resolution specialist, and the video I'm about to watch shows an escalated interaction between school administrators and a couple of parents. I'll give you my reactions along the way. And if you're interested in de-escalation, check out my conflict resolution and de-escalation training workshops linked in the description below. Whoa.
For themselves.
No. Can I explain to you, sir? Can I just talk to you, explain to you? What we do is they have a big screen in their room, and when their bus comes up, we have adults all through the hallway here.
The administrator is doing a good job. Not sure what her position is, but she's doing a good job of staying calm and speaking slowly, using a very sort of pleasant tone of voice. So that's good right off the bat. We'll see how this goes.
Y'all got adults all through the hallway. How did it happen for the third time?
Okay.
Not the first. The first time I was calm. I was understanding because I understood it could happen. The second time I was mad, but I let it go. The third time my son called me from the bus, crying,
yelling,
screaming, talking about he don't know where his sister is. Right. I'm supposed to be at work, which is an hour away from where we live here in Snellville. Now imagine if I went to work. Right. My 5-year-old daughter would be here.
Stuck.
It seems to me, when he's talking, it seems to me like she is waiting for her turn to speak. She's nodding, she's sort of very flat-toned, and sort of her expression's very flat. So she's not using behavioral empathy. She's not using her facial expression to somehow kind of mirror what he's going through. So she's not putting herself in his shoes. She's just waiting for her turn to speak to explain her side or something like that. And at least that's the perception that I'm getting. I can imagine that that's how the parent is feeling, and he's probably feeling very frustrated because he doesn't really feel heard at that moment. So I would highly recommend, for de-escalation purposes, to use some sort of facial expression, some behavioral empathy in order to show him like, oh my gosh, I hear what you're saying. I get it. I understand. Like just something, not just a sort of flat tone in your facial expression. But let's see how this plays out.
Miss Curry left early today. We did have the parapro in the room. I don't know what happened, but I can try to get Miss Fields and we can try to...
Okay, so she's trying to go into solutions, which is, we want to solve things, but she's not taking a moment to repeat what she heard. She's not doing any really empathizing. She's just kind of going right into an explanation and then trying to solve. And that typically doesn't make people feel heard, which can really continue or even escalate things further.
To figure out what happened.
Unacceptable.
Let me ask you
Unacceptable.
My son told them to stop, but he said, don't pull off. I cannot leave without my sister. And they told him to leave anyway. My son was on the bus screaming and crying, and y'all still told the bus to pull off. Whoever it was.
The parent is getting escalated because obviously her son was crying and screaming that they left the daughter. I mean, this is a situation which would anger any parent. And the response that I'm hearing from whoever this administrator is she immediately says no. And then she goes into her explanation. Using the word no and then going into an explanation is just completely shutting down this person from feeling heard. So again, we want to get across the sense that we care about what this person's going through. And the way to do that is to use behavioral, postural, verbal, and facial empathy, and also to repeat back what we heard, to get aligned with them, to be on their team, not to sort of defend our position or to explain something right off the bat. We might have to use an explanation at some point, but not right away. We want to de-escalate things before we start explaining.
There was a teacher who told him to pull off.
That's transportation.
They should have let my son get off the bus and find his sister, because that's what we told him to do. They didn't allow him to get off the bus.
That's transportation. That's a separate...
It was a teacher that told him.
Okay, so she's using the words, I agree with that. That's good. She's trying to team up, but then she's placing blame somewhere else. Now, it might be someone else's fault. That's fine. But when you start to redirect blame to someone else and there's no accountability at all, the parents are perceiving this as a school problem. And she's saying, well, that's not my department, that's transportation or something like that. That feels like no one's taking accountability. There's got to be someone who takes accountability, and right now it's probably going to be the administrators because they're the representatives of the school in this moment. So again, really important, when someone's in an escalated state, we can't problem solve. We have to get them to de-escalate before we can problem solve. So to de-escalate, we need to show them that we're hearing them, that we care about what's going on for them, that we're empathizing with them, and that we're on their team before we start trying to explain what happened or defend or maybe redirect blame to someone else. Whoa.